Kenny, the Pirates competed last week in Walla Walla and came away with a split. You fell to a really good team from Colorado College and then defeated a team from Shriner, Texas. Talk about what you saw and what we take away from this weekend.
Yeah, going back to Friday against Colorado College, we knew they were going to be a solid team. It's something where you don't want to spend a ton of time paying attention to comparative scores and results like that, but just kind of knowing, Willamette had went down there and they had lost to a team that Colorado would beat. Just kind of looking at those things like, oh, we know it's just kind of gauge how much of a test that's going to be for us. They're just a really solid program. I'm sure they'll be a tournament team as well, and they have really good talent and size across the board. I mean, I don't think they really played anybody under, felt like 5'8" or 5'9". Their post Tomlinson, she's probably going to be all region for sure, maybe possibly an All-American. She was really solid against us, and then Whitman that next day as well. And then, just kind of being a little bit disappointed with some of the self-inflicted mistakes that we had made in that game, kind of a trend from earlier in the year, and then really responded well, kind of a gut check game for us Saturday against Shriner, who had a tough loss as well on their Friday night contest. And we got up early, and that was something that we haven't really done so far this season. We were really, I think, well prepared to execute. The players really took ownership of what we needed to be successful at in preparation for that game as far as executing against their full court press and their half court zone defense. So really eliminating some of the careless turnovers and really just the shot making was the big difference. I mean, as complex as basketball can be, it's a make or miss game for the most part. So when you hit 13 threes, I feel like that's probably the most that we've made in a game I've coached over the 2 years. That was something really special for us and really a good momentum going into this next weekend's trip and finals week.
Yeah, we haven't had a quarter like 29-3 since we went to quarters.
Mm-hmm.
So was it just a matter of focus and readiness coming out, or was it something that built over the course of the period?
I think it was confidence in executing the game plan and just understanding right from the start if we're able to execute what we wanted to do defensively and force them to not take great shots and get great shots, and we're able to get rebounds and push and not have to deal with their press or their set half-court defense. We pushed better in transition than I can remember in a long time. I think that really helped, and obviously it's a game of momentum where if you get a lead and you get somebody down like that, you can keep your foot on the pedal. I think that's something we did really well. Obviously, Z was a monster on the backboard, so we didn't have to deal with, sending 2 or 3 people there. She got every rebound, we were out, and we were gone to the races. So I think that's something where, it didn't necessarily feel like 29-3 or whatever it was early on, but then you're looking up and it's just like we're getting a stop, we're getting the rebound, and we're pushing. And it felt like we were just almost kind of doing like a fast break drill for a little bit. And then obviously, Shriner, they know what they're trying to do. They're going through some things as well and just wanted to be solid. And they were going to play hard. They won the second and third quarters by about 5 or 6 each, and it was something where they hit a few shots in that third quarter where if we didn't respond and have a positive mindset and attitude, it could have got away from us.
This week, same question I asked Damien for the men. You get to navigate final exams.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that? How do you take a college basketball team and keep them moving forward in the midst of the hardest week of the year and academically?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I honestly think here at Whitworth, for the most part, it's kind of been nice where a lot of the teachers don't try to overload you this week because they know, for probably at least 2 or 3 of your other classes, you're going to have stuff. So usually it's kind of been, I think, distributed a little bit better over the past few years. Having played here, I understand better than most what it's like to deal with a finals week and what's best for the players, I think. We were off yesterday just to kind of let them study in preparation for the week ahead. We'll have 2, good days kind of shoring up things that we felt we could have been better at reflecting on ourselves. And then, later this week, once finals finish up Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll get geared up for our games next weekend.
Speaking of which, heading to Southern California to spend the pre-holiday week down in hopefully sunny Southern
Mm-hmm.
California. What do we know about Claremont and Occidental and Chapman in our preparation for those games?
It's kind of a mixed bag. I mean, the Sky Exit Conference, where from year to year it really can jumble as far as who's successful, who's not. They usually are pretty successful as far as just that conference as a whole of keeping their players, just because it's a great location to play. Where there might be a team that's young one year and then they bring everybody back and they're just a stronger program. So you can't really look at previous years so much. But I think the big thing for us is kind of the same story of just really doing what we do and not paying a ton of attention to what things they're going to throw at us, but just if we can be prepared to take care of the basketball and knock down shots when they present ourselves, that's going to be the main key for us. But really just enjoying, getting out of town a little bit, having some time away as a team. Obviously, we've had the couple trips down to Walla Walla and the day trip to Boise, but just being on the road is something that's one of the most, fun parts of college athletics. So I think we're going to really embrace this challenge of, being road warriors for 3 games and then enjoy some time at home with the family.